Hi, Assalamualaikum and very good day to our panel, Dr. Radwan and Madam Nashrah. My name is NURUL AIANA FARAHIN binti MAHAT.
And it's me, Dr. AQIDAH binti ABDUL WAHAB.
We will present our topic, which is the online learning factors that influence students' performance, and this study was conducted in UITM Seremban 3.
Now, I will start with research background. Online learning factors have been found to be essentials for the students' performance. The general objective of this study is to identify the most influential online learning factors towards the students' performance in online learning among students UITM Seremban 3. The study on the students-related factor, instructor-related factors, and facilities-related factors are based on the comprehensive analysis and literatures of the previous studies. Students and instructors or lecturers complete the learning process face-to-face while seated in the same classroom. However, as time goes on, learning may be done in a variety of ways using a range of platforms and techniques, including physical instructions, online learning, and video platform. Next, the problem statement in this research is the students still have a problem in terms of adaptability in online learning because from the perspective of students, learning through verbal is more effective and efficient compared to online learning. Online learning now is still implemented, but according to UITM, online learning will be conducted within appropriate times and needs at the time, also based on the discretions of the lecturers. Furthermore, according to recent studies, the majority of students prefer physical education and feel stressed and burdened by online learning. Therefore, it is essential that we identify the issues or variables that generally have a favorable or bad impact on students' performance in online learning. As a result, the students' performance has suffered and their grades have declined. As the success of online learning is determined by a student's performance, as in this research will be conducted at UITM Seremban 3, in which the students from all the 3 faculties are still using online learning. Therefore, this research wants to know what are the significant factors of online learning that influence the students' performance in UITM Seremban 3 students. Next, we move on to the research questions. Firstly, what is the relationships between students-related factors in online learning and students' performance in UITM Seremban 3? Secondly, what is the relationship between instructor-related factors in online learning and students' performance in UITM Seremban 3? Thirdly, what is the relationships between facilities-related factors in online learning and students' performance in UITM Seremban 3? And lastly, which factors in online learning is the most influential towards students' performance in UITM Seremban 3? Next, I will proceed to explain research objectives. In this research, we have 4 objectives. The objectives of the research studies are listed as follows, and firstly is to identify the relationship between students-related factors in online learning and students' performance in UITM Seremban 3. Secondly, to identify the relationship between instructor-related factors in online learning and students' performance in UITM Seremban 3. Thirdly, to identify the relationship between facilities-related factors in online learning and students' performance in UITM Seremban 3. And the last one is to examine the most influential factor in online learning towards the students' performance in UITM Seremban 3.
We proceed with conceptual framework, which is in the research study, we have 1 dependent variable and 3 independent variable. Dependent variable consists of student performance in online learning, and independent variable, which is student-related factor, instructor-related factor, and facilities-related factor. Next, we proceed with research hypothesis. In this study, as you can see, we have 3 alternate hypotheses and 3 null hypotheses to represent each of proposed variable. So overall, we have 6 hypotheses to represent our dependent variable and independent variables. Moving on to research methodology in this study, for research design, we have choose to use quantitative method with the cross-sectional design, as it allows to collect data from many different individuals at a single point in time, and it offers a greater opportunity of the findings result. Then, the unit analysis in this research study has focused on the student from 3 different faculty in UITM Seremban 3, which is the survey will be distributed to the student from Faculty of Administrative Science, Computer Science and Mathematics, and from Sport Reg student. And for the number of population in this, of course, UITM Seremban 3 with total population is 5,592 students. And then we referring to Crigi Morgan table, we discovered that our sample size should be 3,057 students. And then after the final data collection, we receive about 300 students representing response rate of 84%. We fulfill the requirement of 60% of response rate. Next, the sampling technique of data collection, we have used convenience sampling, which is this technique allowed to select the participants that are often readily, which means that the questionnaire will be distributed for students in UITM Seremban 3 who are conveniently available to answer the survey. In this process of data collection, we have used online questionnaire where the questions are available via Google Form and has been distributed through WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram and also in the area of UITM Seremban 3. The survey has evaluated by using a Likert scale 1 to 5. Lastly, for the purpose of data analysis, we have used Pearson correlation and multiple regression in order to indicate proposed variable. Next is demographic findings. For gender, the female is our majority of respondents, which is 66.7%. And for the age, the range of 21 years old and below is the most of our respondents, which equivalent to 53.3%. Next, a majority of the respondents that participated in this survey are from the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Study with 61%. Then most of the student is from degree, which is amounting to 68%. As for the current semester, the most students are from semester 5, which is equivalent to 30.3%. Besides, the majority of respondents has CGPA around 3.00 to 3.49, the equivalent to 51.3%. Furthermore, there has 226 respondents, equivalent to 88.7%, who are never failed any subject throughout their online study. Moreover, almost of the respondents are able to graduate on time, is amounting to 95.7%. Lastly, there are 265 respondents with 88% who are never repeat any paper throughout their semester.
Next, we move on to the main findings. Under these sessions, discuss the study and includes the results using the findings of a genome data analysis done on survey data. The study was conducted based on the results of the questionnaire that was distributed to the respondents via a Google Form link. To obtain and achieve the results of the study goal being studies in this study, the answer is carefully analyzed transparently. The first objective is to identify the relationship between student-related factors of online learning and students' performance in UITM Seremban 3. The method we use to analyze the data is Pearson correlations. Based on the table 4.4, the result is R equal to 0.572 and p-value is 0.001. Thus, the alternate hypothesis 1 is accepted and the null hypothesis 1 is rejected because we can see that the p-value is less than 0.05. It means that there is a relationship between students-related factors in online learning and students' performance. The second objective is to identify the relationship between instructor-related factors of online learning and students' performance in UITM Seremban 3. Based on table 4.5, the result is R equal to 0.487 and p-value is 0.001. Thus, the alternate hypothesis 2 is accepted and the null hypothesis 2 is rejected because we can see that the p-value is less than 0.05. It means that there is a relationship between instructor-related factors in online learning and students' performance.
Moving on to main finding objective 3, which is to identify the relationship between facilities-related factor of online learning and student performance in UITM Seremban 3. The method still using the same method, which is Pearson correlation, as the result occur is R equal to 0.484 and p-value is 0.001. It means the alternate hypothesis 3 is accepted and null hypothesis 3 is rejected because we can see that the p-value is less than 0.05. So it indicates that the facilities related factors significantly influence student performance. Lastly, the objective is to examine the most influential factor of online learning towards the student performance in UITM SEREMBAN 3. For this objective, we use multiple regression with adjusted R-square is 0.389. For student-related factor, the beta value is 0.370 with the significant value is 0.001. For instructor-related factor, the beta value is 0.218 with a significant value is 0.001. And facilities-related factor, the beta value is 0.159 with a significant value is 0.007. So we can conclude that student-related factor is the most influential factor compared to others due to the higher beta value, and the significant value is 0.001.
Next, I will explain the research recommendations. The first recommendation is allocating funding for technology by providing subsidies or financial assistance to ensure the students have affordable access to the internet and devices for online learning. Government has the authority to allocate funds to support students in educational institutions to ensure that students are accessible to the necessary electronic devices such as computers, laptops, or tablets. The government has provided tablets for students by implementing Peranti Siswa program starting 2023. However, tablets have limitations in terms of processing power and memory compared to laptops that are more powerful in processing power and large memory. Thus, to enhance the quality of learning, the government can provide laptops which are a more suitable and long-term investment for the students. The second recommendation is to enhance instructor and students' interactions. Instructor can effectively engage with students and provide guidance and support through individualized feedback, discussions forums, and virtual office hours. Virtual office hours have proven to be an essential component of distance education since they allow students and instructors to communicate freely and provide them with the opportunity to ask for help when they need it. As instructors, we should select a platform that is user-friendly and easily available to students, for example, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and others. As students, they will have a lot of questions about their course, especially while learning online. There needs to be an open communication between the instructor and the students in order for the students to fully understand the lecture. Instructors must participate actively in online discussions, respond to inquiry promptly, and provide responses on time. The last recommendation is to encourage the use of open educational resources, which is OER. The government should encourage the development and distributions of open educational resources to ensure that the students have free access to high-quality education resources. These resources are available online and can be obtained in a variety of formats such as lesson plans, textbooks, lecture notes, videos, and tests. This initiative aims to increase access to excellent education materials, encourage better collaboration within the educational community, and reduce costs for both students and educational institutions. Government funding are two ways that open educational resources can be created, modified, and distributed, as long as the material is relevant. It's not only helps students to save money, but also saves their times when it's come to finishing their research assignment.
Then move on to the limitation of this study. Firstly is difficulty obtaining respondent. This is because not all the respondents interested to finish the questionnaire and submitting the complete Google form to researcher. Thus, it is difficult to gather responses. Furthermore, the public perception toward this study also become a difficulty to recruit respondents to answer the questionnaire. Hence, for future research, the researcher can print the questionnaire and give a piece of paper containing the question for the respondent to answer the questionnaire. It can help the researcher gather more respondents. Second, the limitation of this study is about time constraint. The amount of time provided to complete this study is quite limited, which it was challenging for the researcher to carry out and complete the research project. There are only within 2 semesters has been provided, and within those 2 semesters, just a few weeks were allocated to perform and complete this research project. Moreover, the researcher have faced challenging when collection of data in this study was made within 1 month, which affect the percentage of total respondent. Thus, for future research, the significant amount of time must be provided or include a specific time in academic calendar for conducting research project. Lastly, the limitation of this study is also the weaknesses of quantitative method. This is because the quantitative method has a flow which is the respondent might not provide truthful answer and might not truly read the questionnaire. Therefore, for the future research, qualitative method or mixed method may be used to improve the accuracy of information and data. Lastly, for the conclusion, we can conclude that student-related factor, instructor-related factor and facility-related factor in online learning have a significant relationship with students' performance in UITM Seremban 3. However, the student-related factor is the most factor that influence student performance in UITM Seremban 3. Therefore, students play an important role in shaping their academic success during online learning, and they should acknowledge the factors to ensure that they can perform well in their studies. So that's all from us. Thank you.